Good evening, Sunday. What's up, guys? How is everybody? If you're watching this, let people on Facebook know that we're over here, please. Let them know in our groups, on the page, if you can. What's up? What's up? Not seeing anybody on here yet. Just waiting on you guys. Scott, what's up, buddy? How are you? What's going on? Byron Rogers, what's going on, man? Nate, how are you, man? Just making a post over here to Instagram since you guys can't do that. How was everybody's weekend? Paul, what's up? What's going on, guys? EDC organizers. We've shipped a ton of those. I've got more. Well, these are injectable cases right here. I've got EDC organizers out there. These are EDC organizers right here, as are all of these are EDC organizers. We've got more injectable cases going. We've got a ton of the cigar cases going. Knife roll-ups, chef hats. What's up? Jerry, what's going on? Did a glass blowing date night. That's fucking neat, man. That is cool. What'd you guys make? What's the first thing you make when you learn how to glass blow? Wyatt Cranford, what's going on, man? Jose, how are you? Chuck Peoples picked up a buddy heater to Rolking. Good. So pick up a bunch of propane cylinders. The 1 pounders are very convenient, right? Get your barbecues, your barbecue tanks, and then get the hose adapter. Now, when you get the hose adapter for your barbecue tank to your buddy heater, you're going to have to run. You need to run a filter. The propane fuel is dirty. It will clog up that catalytic converter going through there with the fuel, right? And then depending which pieces you get, some will run, others will require a pressure regulator. And then some of them won't run with the pressure regulator. So buy your pieces, test it out long ahead of needing it before you rely on bulk propane via, like a barbecue tanks, and find out that your system won't run. So test fire that thing and make sure that that works ahead of time, right? Please don't put Amanda in buckets. No, Amanda's not going in buckets. A shot glass and made her a pumpkin. That's cool, man. That's neat. James, what's cracking? What's up? Bill Ravelli, how are you? Stopped by LL Bean today. Grabbed something for the wife. Bought a new Leatherman. That's cool. I've never been in an LL Bean, I don't think. We went to, we were in an REI yesterday, briefly. Picked up a couple Patagonia pullovers, quarter zip R1s. I'd wanted to try out those waffle print things. Pretty nice. I got another Smart Wool pullover. Picked up some Smart Wool socks tonight. I noticed REI, all of their Smart Wool shit, you have to decipher whether it's for men or women because it's all fucking gender neutral now, and all their packaging is pink purple. I'm like, just fuck Smart Wool. I'll go with Darn Tough. I don't like the Darn Tough socks as well, but I've got probably 24 pairs of Darn Tough. They feel wetter than the Smart Wool. The Smart Wool stays drier on my foot, but I'm just fucking sick and tired of the bullshit. And then I went to I went to Dick's, Chicks with Dick's Sporting Goods, and they don't have, and what I noticed at REI too, REI had a bunch of gear I'd never fucking heard of before. They didn't have any Solomon shoes. They didn't have shit that I was going to buy. and a bunch of brands I'd never heard of. And they were really pushing it and trying to educate people on these brands. So my suspicion is they're going with product they can get and not the product they want. At Dick's Sporting Goods, I found a couple pairs of Smart Wool socks, colors that I never would have bought, but they'll fucking work. But the packaging's normal. So that makes me think maybe that REI has pushed the gender neutral bullshit. So I don't fucking know. Do you make ponchos? I don't. I don't make ponchos. Went with a bunch of kerosene space heaters, picked them up at a yard sale. Okay, so kerosene space heaters. I buy them new. I have bought a bunch at yard sales. As long as they're fresh, they're fine. But I bought a bunch like at flea markets and stuff because you can put a new wick in them fairly inexpensive. I've put 4 or 5 wicks in kerosene heaters. Never have I put a wick in a heater and had it not smoke afterwards. So those will become row house heaters, shipping container garage heaters. They'd be fine out here. You would not want to use them inside your bedroom at night or, you know, inside the house in the living room, because and maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I've done several of them. They always smoke. So I buy space heaters. Whenever they first come out, I'll buy a couple, and then I'll buy them towards the end of the season if you find any on sale. I leave them brand new in the box and when we need them. Now, what you need to do is go get you some fucking kerosene. We had 2 places here in town that sold kerosene, and neither of them are here. We have to travel in this little ass town now. I mean, and we had 2 gas stations that had kerosene. We got to drive 45 minutes to get kerosene now. I thought I was going to you a kerosene heater. I don't know where they went. I bought a couple of them this year. Anyways, I love kerosene. I love kerosene heat. People that don't know, you can buy kerosene at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart. You pay a ridiculous amount of money for that scented kerosene that comes in the 1-gallon containers. Typically, you will buy it on the pump at a gas station. It's one of the pumps around back or to the side usually. Has its own tank. Kerosene stores fucking forever. I mean forever. You can take kerosene 10 years old, that shit will still burn. That Florida man life requires no portable heaters. Caro wick too high, they will always smoke, lighting, and extinguish. Are you telling me that? I've run a lot of fucking kerosene heaters, man. I've watched all the videos. I've done all the shit with fucking kerosene heaters. Never have I replaced a wick where it didn't where it worked as though it was new. Always find Caro heater produce too much soot. I haven't had that problem. We ran them for a long time in the Cedar Lakes in the estate's house, right where we were. We had them for years. Our main heat and air system went out, and I wanted to see what it would be like to live without heat and air. So we did for 7 years. We heated with wood, supplemented with kerosene, and then for air conditioning, we just used little window units, like the cheapy throwaway $99 window units. And we would never clean them. We'd clean the filter and the grill thing, you know, but we would never really blow them out or clean them. Every year, we'd run them about a year and a half, 2 years, and we'd fucking throw them away and put a new, $90 one back in. They is plural, not even multiple personality gets it. Yeah, fuck them. Why are we going to kowtow to the smallest percentage of persons, right? You want to be crazy or cut your fucking penis off and fucking tuck it up your asshole? I don't care what you do. Leave me out of it. Good for you. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Don't fucking expect me to participate in your fucking nonsense. Website won't let you set the password. Send an email, man. Send an email. You got me monitored in YouTube now for the live feed. Keith, I think that's where we're going to do it. I mean, I haven't, what's on right now? 47. That's a fucking pretty low number. I've got 11 thumbs up. Why do I only have 11 thumbs up even though 47 you are on here? Like, you guys got to fucking do your part. It's free. Fucking thumbs up that shit. Put some thumbs ups there. fucking take this and share it, right? Tell people we're live right now. Like, I don't get paid for doing this, and it doesn't cost you guys anything to do that. I'm looking for Amanda's comment. I didn't see it, I guess. Our dicks stop selling. All dicks stop selling guns. There are no guns. There's not even any camouflage shit in Dick's Sporting Goods. There's a bunch of fucking colorful, low-end kayaks, and there's like some borderline camping shit. I was surprised to see Dick's selling. They've had North Face for a while. I was surprised to see Patagonia there tonight. They had some Patagonia shit. My suspicion is Patagonia has a lower-end product out to place it, you know, in. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that all your North Face and your Patagonia shit's sewn in the same factories. Mr. Buddy makes a commercial brand. I can't remember the name, but they work like gangbusters. The elements are twice the size of the largest Buddy. So you have the Big Buddy and the Buddy Heater. You're saying there's a bigger one, but does it? They make a lot of shit. They make wall mount stuff that I have in the snake trailers. They make a lot of shit. Some of that stuff, I believe, requires power. There's all kinds of heaters and torpedo heaters and shit. The problem is you got to plug them in, so when you really need them, they don't work. 2 orders in the works with you guys. Was bummed I missed the black shotgun rigs, but I did get the order placed for the Typhon one. Right on, Tyler? Is there anything else on that order? That Typhon one? I'm curious why it hasn't shipped. Maybe there's other stuff, or it's waiting on a code. We usually tell people, like, if you watch these live feeds, you know what we're building and when it's coming for the most part. Get in our text messaging. We've been sending out text messages about an hour ahead of time, so if you want priority over other people, that's one way to do that. Get on our text. Because you have your phone in your pocket all the time. You're going to know if we text you probably before you know we emailed you. Like, I don't have my email tied to my phone. I don't get any emails. I have to physically sit down at a computer to see emails. Padded H, yeah, you're probably waiting on the padded H harness. We tell guys all the time, you want it faster, don't order the H harness with it. Order it separate. Gillespie got off Facebook, right on. Someone's watching the stream, they should hit the like button. Yeah, I mean, fuck. Tell your other social media platforms or whatever groups you're in. Like, I know every one of you dudes is in some gear group, especially groups where there's people that don't like us. Because the people that don't like shit are the most boisterous. There's a thread on Reddit, and it's all about how terrible SOE is and fuck that guy. And I talk to people that work there, and he treats his employees like shit, right? There's a thread on Reddit. One of you motherfuckers knows what I'm talking about. Go over there right now and tell them I'm on fucking line. Let them come over here and say what they want to say. You notice I haven't posted over there? Like 5, 6 dudes sent me a link to that Reddit thread. My reply was, I don't care. It's better for me, rather than to diffuse that, it is better for my business to let them talk shit and then have 100 dudes show up and post photos of SOE gear and go, that wasn't my experience. When I go and show up, they stop fucking talking. It's amazing when you speak of the devil and then you're surprised when the devil shows up. I just quit doing that. I took away, like, everything they say negative about me. The only reason they know it is because I fucking put it out there public. Anything, the worst fucking points in my life, or what they perceive to be the worst points in my life, I should say, happened before most of them were born. He's a felon. He went to prison. I'm a felon from when I was 17 and a half years old, tried as an adult. That's 18 years old, right? I'm 50 years old now. I'm a felon from fucking then. I went to prison for not telling on motherfuckers. They wanted 3 specific names, and I fucking went to prison instead of giving up any one of those other 3 dudes. I didn't have, you know what my crime was? Possession of firearms. There was no crime committed with the firearms. None of the guns were illegal. I had them in my place of business. They weren't even at my fucking personal, where I live. They weren't at my residence. They were at a business in a safe. Somebody told them we had machine guns and explosives. That's what they raided the shop for. After investigating us 18 months and coming up with no evidence, they executed a search warrant, and that's why they didn't arrest me that day, because there was no machine guns or explosives. 2 weeks later, they arrest me for felon possession of firearms, 1 count. That's what my arrest was. I went to prison for not snitching. I was a felon from when I was 18 years old, before any of these dudes were born. And you know why they know it? Because I speak about it freely. What they perceive to be the worst fucking point in my life, I still fucking made $100,000 every year I was in prison. Them motherfuckers ain't made $100,000 in fucking 3 combined years of their lives. How many dudes on here? See, now there's 72 on here. How many people on here know about me because of somebody speaking ill of me? People talking shit. Because people want to watch the train wreck. People want to see the train wreck. That's why I haven't been commenting. There's a group on Facebook called ODG Gang or OD Gang, Olive Drab Gang, right? Olive Drab Green. I know one of you motherfuckers is in here. We make OD green stuff. I saw some little cunt in there saying, I asked him if he'd make me a custom vest in green, and he replied no. He didn't even fucking give me, I wasn't important enough for more words. What more words did you need? The answer was no. You asked me to make something I haven't made in 25 years in a color that nobody buys, and I answered you no. You're lucky I answered you at all. You know that motherfucker hit me back up today asking if I'd build him some custom shit in green again, like I don't know it's him, like I didn't see him talking shit in that thread. So I know one of you motherfuckers on here is in that group. Go over there and post right now that we're fucking live and let that little cunt come over here so I can tell him no again. People, right on. Weapons junkie, what's up? Needed a belt a few years back. A friend of mine told me about SOE. Now I have rabbits and chickens. Couldn't be happier. I caught Mr. Bugs yesterday, the rabbit that's out. I fucking made the mistake. Well, I caught him, right? Put him in a cage with 2 girls. He started humping on them. And I just felt bad. I let him out. I let him back out. And then last night when I was changing out frozen water bowls, they were starting to ice over at about 11. I think it was about 11. He gets up, like he climbs up shit, like a cat will. It's a trip. Like, you know how rodents run across things? He runs up and gets on top of cages and shit, hops from one cage to another. He knows, like, he knows the pattern. He's pretty smart. So I petted him, kind of. I touched him and he ran away. And then I had like this sticky shit all over my hands. It was fucking piss because rabbits, it is a game to them to piss all over each other. They literally, they're disgusting. They sell something called piss guards. It's like a plastic sheet you put between your cages so that the rabbits don't, it's the bucks, and they piss on each other. I was like 10,000th follower on Facebook, bought my wallet from you on the 20,000, 20% off code, right on. How's that wallet holding up for you? Saw from Jaeger way back, right on. Learned from your breakfast videos. That's a while ago, man. Are you going to make that shirt you and Bear were talking about? Monetize your shirt? No, I wouldn't do that. I told Bear he should do that. How did you even know I didn't know there was a video up with Bear and I talking about that. Maybe that was outside. Bear was here for a couple hours. We spoke about a lot of business stuff. But no, I told Bear he should do that. I'm not going to take that idea. I've got fucking 20 other ideas in the works. I need a graphic guy, a graphics art dude. I need a dude that can design t-shirts. I need a guy I can just throw the idea at, and he can, run the computer and just fucking shit something out. If you're that dude, get a hold of me. we'll talk, because that can all be done remote. I have a couple places that do shirts, but I need somebody that, you know, somebody that's hungry for that shit, somebody that actually does that shit. Farm raising shrimp using biofloc system. Looking into farm raising shrimp. Man, you can buy a lot of shrimp and crawfish and pollywogs right off Amazon. Atlanta Goldfish, I think is what it's called. There's a place I've used, Spearco uses. I get my koi from them. And they sell shrimp. A lot of shrimp are razor sharp. Like they will fucking they will cut you like a scalpel. Speaking of scalpels, guys that don't know, if you go to like the veterinary supply stuff at Tractor Supply, they sell a 5-pack of disposable scalpels in the foil packs. That would come in very handy for guys, especially guys setting up med kits and stuff. You can buy 5 scalpels in a package of 5 right at Tractor Supply. They're not very expensive. Following you for 10 years. KD from No Other Choice setup on your gear, right on. Atlanta, what I missed. I think it's called Atlanta Goldfish. There's a place I buy goldfish from. Butterfly koi and butterfly goldfish, and Spearco has bought a lot of his fish for his aquaponics systems there. They have panfish and sunfish and all kinds of stuff, but they sell several different kinds of shrimp and crayfish. Stack silver bullion, any tips? Tips. Yeah, buy low. Don't sell it. Buy shit that stacks up. I like tubes because you grab a tube and there's 20 in there. Stuff out of Canada is typically 1.5 ounces, some of it. I like to buy, you're going to pay more for it, American Silver Eagles. Everybody knows what it is. And you're never going to buy it at spot. Spot, you're never going to get spot price. Spot price, market price is only what they pay when you buy it back, when they buy it back from you. I'm in some groups on Facebook. You can buy, 5 pieces, 10 pieces, whatever. I buy 20-piece tubes at a time. Unless there's just something really neat I see, then I'll buy a single or double piece or whatever, But that's the deal. Buy it while it's down. It's pretty down right now. And just stack it up, man. I also like buying stackers, 10-ounce bars, 10-ounce stacker bars. They stack on top. They have little ridges on the bottom. I like those too. It just comes down to, you're going to pay shipping on it. So if you fill the box up, the shipping costs the same. That's where you're going to save your money. You're going to save your money on shipping. If you buy from a private party, you're going to save your money on tax. If you buy from AppMex, JM Bullion, Scottsdale, any of those places right now, even when they put the shit on sale, you're going to pay fucking sales tax, depending on your state. A few states don't. Tennessee, 10% fucking sales tax. So midnight, usually, I'm getting in bed, I fucking jump on a couple Facebook groups. I click most recent posts, and I buy from there. Now, if you're not familiar with the groups, the metal groups run their groups a little different than the gear groups for some reason. And when they post, they're like, okay, I've got these things, references on request, and you're like, okay, I bought BIN is what you post, buy it now 5 or 10 or whatever, with references. And the dude people will jump on and go, I give him references, or he'll request, hey, anybody give me references. And it'll happen. The thread will just be populated. Now, on the Facebook groups, when you click on the dude's name while you're in the group, it will show you all of his posts. And you will see a history. Some of these guys have hundreds of posts where you can see what they offered for sale, and it all says sold, and you can see all the people in the subthread that bought it. If there was a problem, you would see comments in there, and there's not. So they're all viable. Send it to a P.O. box, send it to your house, whatever. They're all going to ship it, U.S. mail. Gold is a higher denomination. I mean, gold costs more, right? But you can get a 10th ounce gold coins. Now, the less of the size you buy, the more you're going to pay per piece. The more you're going to pay for that weight, right? Because they got to fractionalize it, cut it up. But if you wanted to just buy every week, buy a couple 10th ounce gold coins, you could just carry them around in your pocket. Nobody would even know you fucking had them. They're tiny. So just keep that in mind. When you start getting silver. Now, a lot of guys are like, what's the strategy or whatever? Most dudes asking that question, it doesn't fucking matter because you're buying a coin a week or 3 coins a week. If you're not buying fucking thousands of dollars of shit, there is no strategy. And even thousands of dollars. The strategy is you buy from a mint and you buy what's called a monster box. And the monster box comes with tubes, and then you break the tubes down, sell it. And by the time you sell, I think there's 30 tubes or 50 tubes in a monster box. By the time you sell the other 49 tubes, you get to keep one, and it covered your cost on the one tube. So you got the tube for free for doing all the handling and shipping. I'm sure there's some more technique in there. They're getting some kind of deal somehow to monetize and cover their time. But I don't have time to do any of that shit, right? And if we're talking about buying silver, I think that's great that you're buying silver. You should own Bitcoin. And Bitcoin right now is way fucking down. I'm telling you, you should buy Bitcoin. It's at 40 right now. The last crash we saw it hit was 35, and we call it a crash. It's not, it's a dip. Everything happening overseas in fucking Kazakhstan and all these places. A ton of mining operations are in Kazakhstan. World stuff going around the world, people selling shit, converting to cash. Of course, the Bitcoin market's down. You saw it hit, what did we see it touch? 70,000 just a couple months ago? Think about this. If you took your $1,400 stimulus check 2 years ago, almost 2.5 years ago, and you put it in Bitcoin, $1,400 in Bitcoin 2 years ago, you'd have fucking over $35,000 in Bitcoin right now that you could convert to cash right now. And if you'd put $1,400 in Bitcoin 2 years ago, a month ago, you'd have had $70,000 in Bitcoin. It fluctuates like everything else. And every time it goes down, it goes up. And every time it goes up, it touches a higher peak. And every time it comes down less than it came down before. It just keeps growing. The fucking pie chart. If you don't like the way Bitcoin looks today, zoom out. Look at it for the last week, the last month, the last year. You still made money. A lot of money. What does spot mean? Spot means the current price it's going for. Spot means that's the price, and then there's a handling fee. So if spot price on silver right now is 28 bucks, you're going to typically pay about $30 for a silver coin. But if you go to the coin shop, you're going to pay their price, which is spot's 28. They're going to charge you $5 for the coin, and you're going to pay tax. But you have the convenience of not having to deal with the mail. Yeah, don't forget to like, share, and hit the bell. Those are all very important. On Instagram, I do a lot of content on Instagram, guys. There's a lot of stories on Instagram. If you're not familiar with it, there's stories on YouTube also. I've been trying to post them over. Sometimes I don't. When you see a lot of stuff on the weekend, it's because I'm driving. I post content as I'm driving. Posting content gets eyes. Eyes get you guys more notifications, as the more you watch and interact, the more you see. And then through the week when I post real shit, that's when you see the product. But a lot of the shit we post, it's just like, if you want to see the inner workings of what actually happens, I post everything. I post everything. A lot of people have a perception of people through social media, and it's not the truth. And I just post all of it. When we're running around, the funny comments I'm having back and forth with Amanda and shit, we're just fucking normal people. Like, literally, we're just normal people. And I show that all the time, and I post a lot of that on Instagram. And it really does help on Instagram when you fucking give the heart. It especially helps when you leave a comment. And then if you save, when you save the thing and share it, those help immensely. It helps grow my audience. And by growing the audience, it's not about you buying something. It's not about the person that sees it. It's about the next person or a year down the line. So that's what it's all residual. It's not for today. It's for fucking 2 years from now. Andrew Feldman, thanks, man. Can you cut your tongue? What does that even say? Can you cut Julian, the daughters of wheat heat. Can you cut your tongue? I can't see the rest of that person's comment. What are they even saying? Since they've posted it literally 10 times in a row. Jack Skirko was just talking about this yesterday about Bitcoin. Yeah. Can anybody see this Jillian person I'm about to block from here? Are they saying anything that's a real comment, or should we just remove them? Have hundreds of troy ounces of silver coins from my childhood. My grandmother was smart, gave me 1 coin each birthday, holiday occasion when it was cheap. Dude, that's awesome, man. That is great. And that's the thing, right? You have a store of wealth in that little piece of metal, and when you hand it to a child, so when you die, do you know about death tax? That's some more shit they're passing in this Build Back Better bill. Do you know there's a kill switch? Within 5 years, every car produced, they have to be able to turn off. You know, for in case your car gets stolen, so they can turn it off and recover it for you. No, you mean so that if I don't do what you like to do, you can turn my car off at the same time you turn my bank account off. That's what this is about. Every new car has to have a kill switch. Death tax. Do you know that when you die, you pay a death tax? Do you know they're trying to do unrealized income, right? So if you have a piece of property, you buy your house, right? They tax it when your relatives inherit it. Do you know they want to tax it at a rate of though you could sell it right now? So they want to do a higher tax. And then they want to take 40% off the top of everything you have, everything of value. So farmers, all these ranches that hold thousands of acres, they want to assess the tax at the today price, 40%. So what does that do? That makes your family have to sell a portion or a good portion of that, and then you have to sell it in order to pay the fucking taxes. Prayers for James Yeager. Did something just happen to James? Because I just saw James like yesterday. Oh, you're talking about the video he made. If you have prayers for James Yeager, that's fucking great. If you really want to help James, go to his fucking classes and act like fucking James is James. He's not fucking dead. He was here just a week ago for fucking hours. He's like a normal fucking person, and you couldn't tell other than a little bit of fucking slurring from his tongue. So if you want to fucking help James, interact with him, fucking do business with him, have commerce with him, and continue to. James teaches very few of the classes ever since the grandkids. James has been raising and fucking spending time with family. So continue to do that because his family will need that more than ever. That's why Joey, his son-in-law, is teaching classes. That's why James has all these instructors. Because this will continue to go on. So all these people, they're like, one day I want to take a class with James Yeager. Well, then hurry the fuck up because James is actually teaching some classes right now. Kentucky Property Value Office sent out a memorandum about higher taxes for vehicles this year. People are going nuts, like they had no idea it would do that with the price of a new car. Yeah, everything. So there's a lady here, local here, and she's been in here a few times. We've bought some of her products. She buys some of my products. And she'd said all the landlords in town got together and all decided to raise property rents. Maybe they did, some of them maybe, but what she doesn't realize is my gas prices are up. And when gas prices go up, that means when I put fuel in my truck, it takes more out of my bank account. But what it also means is when I have product come in here, raw goods, not only do I have a fuel charge now, I have a fucking second fuel charge. It's called inflation. Everything costs more now. So a lot of places, like here, a lot of places, when you rent a house, the electricity is already on and it's in the landlord's name, or the trash is in the landlord's name. Everything costs more. Everything costs more. They said they're going to tell you inflation is up like 13% or something. Is it really up 13%? Because when I go buy fucking ribeyes, it costs almost twice what it did. When I buy milk, it costs almost twice. When I buy fucking eggs, which isn't very often, everything costs fucking twice as much. My gasoline is twice as much. So do you know when they figure out inflation rates and they tell you inflation, they never include a few things. They don't include fuel, they don't include housing, and they don't include food. The three things that fucking every US citizen has to pay. That's not included in your inflation rate. So, of course rent is up. Of course it's up. Where's the text sign up? Get on my website and just sit there, dwell for a few seconds, and a pop-up will come up. Yeah, Kevin, you're feeling all three. I feel all three. I take note of what I'm spending. I literally have the conversation now with Amanda. Hey, we're going to Jackson today. What are we going for? We're going to pick up ABC. I go, okay, what other targets do we have to hit? What do we want to achieve, right? And like, I actually look at prices. I never fucking looked at prices. I look at prices now. I used to buy, because we go out to restaurants that we don't go to frequently, and I'd want to try this thing and that thing and that thing. So I would order 3 meals. I would never finish them. I don't do that anymore. I assess the things that come in. I fucking take note of the money. Everybody feels it. Everyone fucking feels it. Mark Taft, good night, buddy. Doesn't help some landlords have been having to house deadbeats. A lot of them, Paul. A lot of them. Where's the housing moratorium? I don't think that's dropped. I don't think that happened. Electric bill is up 80 to 250 in Virginia. Chris, let me tell you about electric bills. When COVID first started, and they started doing all the fucking lockdowns and shit, right? About 6 months into this, my electric company comes to me, a dude walks in here and hands me a bill for $2,500. And I go, what is this? And he goes, it's for deposit. I go, what the fuck's going on? So I make some phone calls, and some friends make some phone calls, and talk to the electric guy. So many businesses had gone out of business because they were shut down. So they couldn't do business because they're shut down and their employees are quarantined. A lot of their employees are from out of town and shit. So they defaulted on their electric bills. They didn't pay them. So the fucking electric company went to the businesses that were still in business and doing business and made them pay twice the deposit so that they could get a fucking chunk of money. I'd already paid a $2,500 fucking deposit that's never coming back. That doesn't get zeroed out. Once you've had it for a year, it goes into your next electric bill. They fucking keep your $2,500. They now have 5,000 of my dollars. I've never missed a bill. I'm never late. And the electricity to run this place is $3,000 a month. That's what it costs to fucking run this property. $3,000 in electricity. And they have 5,000 more of my fucking dollars sitting there doing what? Who knows? Maybe they bought Bitcoin and they're just fucking made a fucking $1 billion off of my 5,000. Who fucking knows what they're doing with it? But I don't have it. And then people get mad at businesses, and they get mad at, the evil landlords. Well, fucking buy a house. Buy a house. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Buy a house. Can you get solar panels? Can we get them? I don't know. I haven't tried to buy them. Can I put them here? Yes. This is a 10,000 square foot building, and luckily, one of the long edges of the building is south facing. Can you run your shop on solar? Oh, I don't know if we could. The amount of money it would cost to run this building on solar, we would have to change a ton of things with it. There's a lot of shit that would have to happen in addition to solar panels. Everybody always says that, but that's always a dude that's never done that. Like this is a fucking steel building. It's not well insulated, at least parts of it are not. We have 7 heat and air handlers in here. Heat runs off natural gas, so that's different. But when electricity goes down in the winter, the gas comes up. My local town just built a huge Bitcoin mining warehouse. I wonder how that's going to work out. I wonder, man. I wonder. I was turned on to SOE through Tactical Response YouTube years ago when I was in junior high. If I'm not going to run plates, which if you're smaller rigs on micro rigs should I get? If I'm not going to run plates. Even if you are running plates, run our shit over the plates. And what rig should you get? That's like me asking you what tires I should put on your truck. I don't fucking know. It just comes down to what you want to carry, buddy. See, that's the thing. Everybody asks people questions that they should make the decision for. Everybody is so fucking scared, and it starts with schooling and government, right? Everybody is so fucking fearful of making the wrong mistake. When you take your first class and you put gear on, the gear you need for your first class is different than your third class, even though it's the exact same class. You will get faster, you will develop better motor skills, your equipment will evolve, you will evolve mentally. It just comes down to what you want to carry. Our AK-M4 micro rig is our lowest price point rig, and it will carry AK mags or M4 mags. Now it has mag pouches for 8 mags. It has mag pouches for 4 mags, but you could put 4 more mags in that utility pocket, or you could put medical gear or smokes in the utility pocket. So are you using an AK or an M4? AK-M4 micro rig. Do you want something faster, more compact, more gunfighter style? Stacked micro rig. But what it really comes down to right now is what you could actually get. You better buy whatever we have when we have it, because for the last 2 years, we were making 48 rigs a day when all the COVID bullshit and all the riots were going on. We were doing 48 rigs a day, and we were selling the rigs we had available tomorrow the day before, and we did that for a year. Like I said, nice to see you on here. Kevin, thanks for being here, buddy. Workout is as in what they will do with their profits. Yeah. It won't benefit you, man. It won't benefit me. But they'll use our money to do it. I get the same food stuff at Costco every month, 75 more than just 2 months ago. Flo, we buy food for 20 people here. Amanda cooks 2 days a week, goes to Walmart once a week, used to fill up the bed of the 4Runner for about $500. It's $750 now, and the bed of the 4Runner is only halfway filled. The protests going on in Kazakhstan aren't about the fuel prices. That's just a ruse the media is using. They're really protesting the C-19 passport they're implementing. Scott, we're seeing the same thing. But it's not, you got to look for it. It's not being shown to you. Same things happen in Italy. Same things happening in Germany. It's going on in Australia. It's happening all over the fucking world right now. The world looks like it is on fucking fire. And when the mainstream media does report it, they show you a little sliver of it. They don't ever show you the aerial view. But when you see the aerial view, you realize that it is as far as the eye can see. BJ's and Sam's here have rice in stock on a very spotty availability. Gotcha. Christopher Johnson, I'm great, man. I'm fucking doing well. Do a grid tie solar system, offset some of the bill. Yep. Having guys come to the door saying to sell solar now with a two-way switch that backflows to the city. So in California, they did this whole thing, right? You got this big credit, and they paid you to put in all this shit, and then the electric companies all had to pay you back money when your fucking electricity flowed into the grid. Not anymore. And you have to, all new systems have to be grid tied, and they do not pay you for it. It's all about people being restricted based on being medicated or not. Yes. And it's really not the medication, right? It's what they sell it as. Who is most likely to say no? The same people that say, you're not going to do that tyrannical shit to me. That's what it's all about. It was about cataloging you. But they didn't have to catalog you because the lemmings signed up willingly, so all they had to do was subtract the rest of us. It's not about the injection. You got people going on 4th injections right now. You got people going on 3rd booster. That's the 4th shot they've had, and they're the ones in the hospital sick. I don't know anybody fucking sick. Any friends I know that were sick fucking got over it pretty fucking fast and still say they're not taking any fucking shots. So I don't know what to tell them, you, whatever. I'm not taking a fucking shot. I'm not fucking worried about your reindeer games. But it's not about that. That's how they sold the Jews, right? They were unclean. They said they had typhoid, right? We have to catalog them. Look up a book called IBM's Role in the Holocaust. That author was on Glenn Beck. If you search IBM in the Holocaust, Glenn Beck, there's a 90-minute podcast. For weeks, that was the click-through link on my Instagram and Facebook pages. It took you to that podcast because I thought it was important enough for you to listen to it. And he compares what's happening now to then and how they do it. It's a 5-step process. They're on step number 3 right now. Catalog, right? Identify, catalog, segregate, confiscate, eradicate. That was the plan. IBM knew exactly what it was. General Motors was involved. Ford Motors was involved. The first ovens were built in Ohio, right? That was a plan. It's always been their plan. Where did Bill Gates come from? Who was Bill Gates' grandfather? Bill Gates' mom was the CEO of IBM. Bill Gates' grandfather fucking ran IBM when they did the Holocaust. This is Bill Gates' that's the whole thing. When you hear him talk about those things, it's in the family. Did you see about the death of the Nashville doctor? I've not seen anything about a Nashville doctor. A Maryland hospital on CBS morning show says they were being overrun with COVID-19. An independent journalist went there the same day, and it was a ghost town. Yeah, Tim Pool has busted out a few of those. Tim Pool's busted a few of those. Tim Pool's girl Lydia, their engineer pushing the buttons in the corner, if you've ever watched Tim Pool show, she has multiple sclerosis. Her doctor has told her she cannot take the vaccination. She can't take the vaccination. Bob Saget died. I heard Bob Saget. I saw some people who were pretty spot on with shit saying that dude's a fucking pedophile. Bob Saget, Orlando Hospital, was in an Orlando hospital, probably with a new fast-acting COVID strain since he died in Florida. I'm sure COVID will be the case, no mask and all, no masks and all. I don't know. I heard that dude is a fucking, look up pedophile Bob Saget. Fear is a strong mass psychosis, right? When they want to take away what you're saying and they're scared about what you're saying, that means they're worried about what they are saying. And so, I don't know anybody that's getting the shot. I really don't. I'm more concerned about being around people who have been vaccinated than I am about catching fucking COVID. Yeah, it's all about people being restricted. They make you, they map you, they make you. Chris Watkins, they make who? Nobody's making me. Nobody's making me. I have friends whose wives work in the fucking ICU, work in COVID side of the hospital, right? And when they said, you're going to get vaccinated, he said, you're not getting fucking vaccinated, you will go get another job. I have several friends who have changed jobs, quit their job, moved states. When the Jews started cataloging and rounding up, when the Nazis started cataloging and rounding up all the Jews, that went on for about 3 years. It went on for about 3 years. A lot of people left, went to Switzerland, went to other places, ended up here in the United States during those times. Some of them, as they were being rounded up and putting, as the Nazis were coming village to village and rounding up Jews, tried to leave and it was too late and got put into the camps. Dachau was the first one. Dachau did not start as a Jewish concentration labor camp. They were housing people they didn't want in society there. They used it as their template to build all of the others. Dachau was the first. Mass psychosis. Google says it's a far-right buzzword. Of course it is, because it doesn't look anything like fucking Germany. knew IBM was involved in the Holocaust, but never knew that the tattoos were IBM card numbers at first. So IBM said they didn't have anything to do with it. You know, there's never been a lawsuit against the guy that wrote the book. IBM's never sued him, because if they did, it would have to come out in public and it would have more eyes on it, right? The doctor who said all this shit on Joe Rogan, they've never sued him, because they would have to go in court under oath, and then they could be cross-examined. They've never sued him. IBM had a copyright on the punch cards. IBM had a patent on the machine. 250 different cases during World War II where IBM went to Germany to defend its copyright against other companies and other places making punch cards that cataloged the Jews. Stop and think about that. They mask you to set you apart. Yes, they masked slaves. They masked slaves because it broke their will. If you look at the mask when you're out in public, people with masks on, they're not standing erect. They're standing hunched over with their face down. They bump into you. When they bump into you or they come around an aisle and you're there, they act fucking scared to death. It has broken their will. Most of them were not alphas anyways. Jordan Peterson talks about that all the time, right? Why are these men so weak? Because women don't want fucking weak men. Women want strong men, and women go after people who have they go after alphas, right? So that dude, of course he's angry. Of course he's fucking miserable in life, because he's just the other dude, because he won't fucking stand up. It's a vicious cycle, and he's never going to break it. And when they put those fucking masks on people, I mean, you see them. They're wearing 1 mask, 2 masks, 3 masks. You see them gloved up. They get in the car gloved up. It's not about the bug anymore. I don't think they really believe standing in line at Starbucks with 20 other people that those 2 masks are going to save them. And then they take it and bring it back into their car with them. It's about them being fearful of having to have conversations with people, and with having the mask on, nobody's going to try to talk to them. Ford sued the USA for bombing one of their motor manufacturing plants in Germany and won. Yes, isn't that some crazy shit? The last moral man in Sodom was mocked for his protest. When asked why he stayed committed, he said, "At first I protested to change those around me. At this point I protest so that you won't change me." Look at Gandhi. I mean, fuck, man. The British came in and said, "We're going to tax your salt." It comes from the ocean. You're going to tax something that was here, that we had for free before you were ever here. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a fucking good night. Remember, at the root of all of it, your problems are the government. They fucking have divided you. They have confused society around you. They have made you the enemy, whether you realize it or not. More and more, you are the enemy. And what do you really want at the end of the day? You want to work. They take 40%. You know, you spend over 40%, closer to 50%. Actually, I think the number was 65% in taxes. If you just kept your paycheck and put it in the bank and didn't spend it. But by the time you spend it, buy fuel, pay housing, buy your house, fucking pay for food, all this shit, 65% of what you make is gone. That's your government. And what do they do with it? They hire people with guns who will come to your house if you don't pay the fees and will kill you over it. Tell you what you can and can't do, even though it affects no other man, because they don't want you to be a free person. Yeah, be the solution. Just stop fucking being scared of them. Stop. So many people are so fucking worried of doing things that are good for them out of fear that they don't do them, right? Eggs. Well, I can't leave eggs out on my counter. Why can't you? Why can't you leave eggs out on? It's just simple shit like that. All right, guys. EDC organizers, cigar cases, EDC pouches, we have all that shit going right now. Now's a great time to order one. Lots of stuff's been shipping out of here every week, shipping out every day. Tons of stuff will ship Monday. I'm out of here, guys. Good night.